Guangzhou mattered because it stood at the gateway between inland China and the South China Sea. For more than 2,000 years, merchants traveling between China and the wider world passed through this strategic location. Geography naturally concentrated trade where the Pearl River reached the ocean, creating a meeting point between river transportation and maritime commerce. Long before modern ports emerged, Guangzhou had already become China's principal gateway to international trade. The city's importance was not accidental, it was the direct result of its remarkable geographic position. Southern China produced silk, porcelain, tea, spices, and countless other valuable goods. However, production alone could not create international commerce. These products first had to travel from farms, workshops, and inland cities toward the coast. The Pearl River gathered countless waterways into a single transportation network, carrying goods naturally toward Guangzhou. At this point, river traffic met seagoing vessels that connected China with Southeast Asia, India, Arabia, and eventually Europe. Geography concentrated both domestic and international trade into one strategic location. Unlike ports located directly on exposed coastlines, Guangzhou developed safely inland along the broad Pearl River estuary. Ships could navigate through sheltered waters while remaining connected to the open sea. This combination offered security from rough ocean conditions without sacrificing accessibility for international merchants. Geography provided Guangzhou with a rare balance between protection and connectivity, allowing it to flourish as one of Asia's greatest commercial cities for centuries. The Pearl River was Guangzhou's greatest geographic advantage. Flowing through one of China's richest agricultural and manufacturing regions, it connected countless inland communities to the coast. Instead of relying on difficult overland transportation, merchants could move enormous quantities of goods by water. Rivers from across southern China gradually converged into the Pearl River system, making Guangzhou the natural collection point for commerce before products continued to overseas markets. The Pearl River estuary formed a natural transition between inland navigation and the open sea. Smaller river vessels carried goods downstream toward Guangzhou, while larger ocean-going ships transported them across Asia and beyond. This geographic meeting point reduced transportation costs and encouraged international commerce. Geography therefore connected to different transportation systems, China's inland waterways, and the global maritime network through a single strategic gateway. The Pearl River Delta was among the most productive regions in East Asia. Fertile soils, abundant fresh water, and a warm climate supported intensive agriculture and dense populations. Over time, the region also became an important center of craftsmanship and manufacturing. This combination produced enormous quantities of valuable goods that naturally flowed toward Guangzhou for export. Geography created both the wealth and the transportation network that sustained the city's prosperity. Before reaching Guangzhou, ships entering from the South China Sea passed through the narrow entrance at Humen, also known historically as the Baka Tigris. This gateway controlled access to the Pearl River estuary, making it strategically important for both commerce and defense. Governments could monitor shipping, collect customs duties, and protect one of China's busiest trade routes. Geography transformed a narrow water passage into one of the country's most valuable strategic positions. Guangzhou's history can be understood through three geographic advantages: a navigable river network, a fertile delta, and a protected estuary. Working together, these geographic features transformed Guangzhou into China's principal maritime gateway and one of the world's longest-lasting trading ports. Some ports connected a country. Guangzhou connected a civilization to the world. For merchants sailing across Asia, reaching China meant entering the Pearl River estuary. This sheltered gateway led directly toward Guangzhou, China's greatest international port for centuries. Arab, Persian, Indian, and later European merchants gathered here to exchange silk, porcelain, tea, spices, and countless other goods. Geography naturally concentrated global commerce at this river gateway. Guangzhou flourished because geography connected to transportation worlds. Rivers carried products from deep inside China, while the South China Sea linked those goods to markets across Asia, the Middle East, and eventually Europe. Geography transformed Guangzhou into the heart of the Maritime Silk Road. The sea made Guangzhou famous, the river made Guangzhou possible. Ships could reach Guangzhou from the sea, but goods first had to arrive from inland China. The Pearl River carried products from thousands of kilometers away. Countless waterways merged into a single transportation network. Grain, silk, porcelain, and tea naturally flowed toward Guangzhou before continuing overseas. Guangzhou became China's greatest port because it stood where inland waterways met the sea. The Pearl River connected millions of people and countless goods to one gateway, making geography the foundation of centuries of prosperity. For nearly 2 centuries, the world's merchants entered China through a single gateway. Every foreign ship sailing toward Guangzhou first passed through this narrow entrance to the Pearl River estuary. During the Canton system, foreign merchants were allowed to trade only here. Geography and government together concentrated global commerce into a single district along the river. The Pearl River provided the gateway, while the Canton system controlled access. Geography created the natural entrance, and policy transformed Guangzhou into China's only official window to global trade. A great port needs more than access to the sea. It needs protection. Before reaching Guangzhou, ships entered a broad estuary protected from the open sea. Waves and storms weakened long before they reached the city's harbor. The sheltered waters allowed ships to anchor safely while remaining connected to the South China Sea. Merchants could load, unload, and trade more reliably throughout the year. Guangzhou flourished because geography balanced protection with accessibility. The estuary sheltered ships from the open ocean, while the Pearl River carried them deep into southern China. Geography made this one of Asia's safest and most efficient natural harbors. For more than 2,000 years, Guangzhou flourished because geography connected different worlds. The Pearl River carried people, products, and ideas from deep within southern China toward the coast. The protected estuary provided safe access to the South China Sea, allowing merchants to exchange goods with Southeast Asia, India, Arabia, and eventually Europe. Fertile delta lands generated the wealth that sustained this commerce, while the river network distributed those benefits throughout the region. Geography made Guangzhou more than a successful harbor, it made it China's enduring gateway to the Maritime Silk Road and one of history's greatest trading cities.